Good Sunday afternoon, folks. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the 95 North Sports Machine. I am your host, Alberto, your host of the 95 North Falcons Talk Show. And always with me is my guy, Smitty. Let the folks know.
Hey, what's going on, y'all, man? It's Sunday, a week from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What we gonna do for y'all, man? We just gonna give y'all some Falcons talk, all right, quick, and give y'all thoughts on some hot topics out there. And let's be real, man. Some of y'all just rub me the wrong way, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. Just know that I bring y'all content because I'm gonna leave not one stone overturned.
Right.
Anything out there that I can think of that could help the Atlanta Falcons, y'all gonna see it, whether y'all want to or not. It's just that simple. Because
Facts,
what I
man.
do is try to bring y'all the best content out there and give y'all, inside looks at how things should work and could work.
Facts.
But the one thing that I don't like is disrespectful followers. If you got a problem with what I throw out there, don't follow me. Keep it to yourself, and we'll all have a nice day.
Facts,
Because some people, don't matter what I put out there, they bring positive comments and always try to see what I see out there. So, if you don't like what I put out, man, just keep it moving. It's just that simple.
That's right. And what folks don't realize is, man, first, as always, man, our boy Ken Kevo from the Crown Ones podcast. So give him a quick shout out there, Kev.
Oh man, it's your boy Kevo, man, supporting repping the DMV area. I'm sorry. I'm on Spotify. I'm coming very, very, very soon on YouTube, dropping Falcons contents, as well as, barbershop talk. That's what the Crown is all about, man. You come on, you sit down with me, and you don the crown. Whatever entrepreneurship you have going on, whatever's on your mind, you wear the crown and you get to do your thing.
There you go. That's it. That's what's up, man.
Let's get it, GA. What's up, man?
Yeah, man.
What's going on?
Y'all go shout out him out on his YouTube channel. Let's get it, GA. He does his thing, man. If you want to, let's get it, GA. Put the link to your channel in the comments, and people can find you just by clicking the link.
Yeah,
but go ahead, Alberto.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to folks in the chat right quick. Let's get it, GA, Embra, Isaac Crimes, Full Stop Falcons, Stephon Mosley. Thank you for always rocking with us, man. But yeah, so today's topic, man. What's stopping the Atlanta Falcons from contending in 2023? The Falcons. Oh shit! The Falcons, as we all know, sitting pretty with the salary cap situation, and everybody else in the NFC South is pretty much looking up towards us. And I'm gonna bring up this quick banner right quick that shows exactly what I'm talking about. You folks see it there, man. The Falcons are sitting at $56.4 million, which is second in the league, followed by everybody else. And the NFC South, the Panthers, the Bucks, and the Saints are all reeling. All need to make moves to get, over the cap or under the cap, I should say, and to help them make their teams to be competitive. So with all these numbers and stuff like that, Smitty, $56 million over the cap really begs the question, what's stopping the Falcons from contending this year? We're catching the NFC South at a very, very vulnerable state right now.
And not only NFC South, the NFC as a whole.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kevo. I'll let you, since you haven't spoken, I'll let you start it off.
Oh, man, in my opinion, what's stopping Atlanta is pretty much right now just ourselves. If we can have another solid draft, of course, we have money to be active in free agency. And, speaking of that, man, we don't know what we're going to do with the number 8 pick. We can use an injection of talent.
Yeah.
Let's put the Lamar move. Let's put that on the back burner because, as we predicted, it looked like they're going to tag him. They won't tag him either way. But, at that number 8 pick, can you really get mad if they go corner? Can you get mad if they go O-line? I mean, of course we need the pass rush, but I've been saying this since I guess like December. We failed. Well, they have failed if they're just now fixing the D-line at the draft. That's what free agency is for.
Yep. And I'm gonna piggyback off right quick. I'll let you finish. I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said that, man, because what Alberto did on our mock draft, man, and the idea that he threw out there, it just makes a whole lot of sense. And the reason why I say that is my next mock draft, I did exactly what he said, and it worked. And with that trade, I still got a cornerback that I needed, Christian Gonzalez.
Right.
Still got an offensive lineman that I needed. And I still, fix the trenches, fix the edge rushing position. And the more I think about it, if you go after a guy like Quentin Williams and add another defensive end to that, and one that I like that no one's everybody's talking about right now is Keelan White, the edge defensive lineman from Georgia Tech. 6'4", 280 pounds. He can bounce inside or outside. And you add a guy like that with Grady Jarrett and Quentin Williams, you win the entire draft. We have nothing else to talk about. You have the pass rush, and not to mention, he's a guy 280 pounds. He can also drop back in coverage. So you talk about an elite talent, and I said it on the video. Pittsburgh Steelers had the same blueprint that they've been had forever. If Falcons run a 3-4 and add a zone blitz with a guy like that, man, we talking at least 40 sacks next year. Man. And that's not only him. I'm talking about Grady Jarrett, Arnold Ebiketie, and D'Angelo Malone. And that's not who we drafted in the draft. Yeah. So that trade Alberto threw out, man, I got to give him a shout out because when I thought about it more and more and looked at the draft board, I said, man, you could fix every problem with that Quentin Williams trade. And if they're going to trade him and you don't have to get him a first round pick, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I think they'll do it for a second or third round pick. And if you got more than one third round pick, go for it. Give them a third and then a fourth the year after. Whatever you got to do to make that move, man, do it.
Yeah, that's true.
But go ahead, man.
I just wanted to add, other than that, man, I see a lot of the Bijan Robinson talk is going on, man. You can't really look at that, man, and we've been complacent over the last couple of years. I guess like with that DQ era, we've had when we paid Freeman, they let Coleman go eventually. It was nobody to push him. The same with Julio. I mean, Calvin was here, but you saw what happened with that. We can't get complacent with some of these guys because they had a good year or years in the past, man. Robinson, Algier had a great year. Right. Patterson is not getting any younger. And, we put a lot of – it's not that he's breaking down, in my opinion. We put a lot of mileage on him, man. They did not bring Patterson in to be, to get all these kids.
Right.
They did not. So, you're getting Robinson. I mean, this is just my comparison. Y'all let me know. I definitely want to throw this at y'all.
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, go ahead.
I think, man, if they do what they're supposed to do in the trenches for free agency, I feel like I'm just going to compare taking Robinson at 8, or even if you slide down to get him, that'd be like when Cowboys when they got Zeke. Just that shot in the arm that made them so much explosive. And yes, they still had deficiencies on defense, but like having Zeke and Dak that 1-2, it carried them to the playoffs at least. Would that not be a win for us?
Oh, absolutely.
It could, yeah, absolutely, man.
We talk about this all the time, man. I'm not going to change my stance on it. You can't fall in love with players. Players get moved all the time. When the Hawks traded Dominique Wilkins, that was probably one of the most dumbest trades I ever seen in my life. But at the end of the day, he was getting up in age, and I understood it. Had it been somebody other than Danny Manning, I probably would have supported it because Danny Manning was crap. But when you look at Bijan Robinson, who's probably one of the best players in the draft all together, you talk about a running back that's a home run threat. A guy that can catch the ball out the backfield, sort of like a Marshall Faulk. He has good hands. And if he's going to be a playmaker and can help you put up more than 2 touchdowns a game, why not? See, fans got to understand, at the end of the day, it's about winning football games, not falling in love with players. And I guarantee y'all, and I know that y'all going to see it, they're going to make some moves, whether it's free agency or the draft, we're not going to like, but it's their vision at the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
So when it's their vision, they're going to put out whomever they want to. If they draft Bijan Robinson, I trust them to do that, and they have a plan for him. Because at the end of the day, you have a young quarterback. You got to take pressure off him. What best way to take pressure off him than to get a running back that can be a threat to the defense? I'm just asking. I'm wondering.
Yeah. No, right.
Because if you think a defensive end, which they drafted 2 last year, is going to come in, take pressure off a quarterback, think again.
Right.
I would draft an offensive lineman before I draft a defensive tackle. And I love Jalen Carter. But the more I look at it, left guard got a hole, right tackle could have a hole because $17 million for Caleb McGarry just does not sound
good.
Man.
No, it doesn't.
They probably they probably kicking themselves in the ass right now by not picking up that 5th-year option.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's gonna cost them a whole lot more to keep him now.
So think about a Peter Skoronski in the first round. Think about Broderick Jones in the first round.
Yeah.
So, when you look at it, it really don't matter what we think at the end of the day. It's about winning football games, about putting the best team available on the field to make sure we win football games. And if we don't do that, guess what? We're going to be in the same spot next year. Oh, we should have done this. Oh, we should have done that. So at the end of the day, it's about winning football games.
Yeah.
And if you can trade back to get a Bijan Robinson, go for it. That means, guess what? You get your defensive tackle, you get your defensive end. And like I said in one of my mock drafts, y'all got to understand, if they trade back and get more picks, they move back up into the first round and get another elite talent.
They could.
So I just got to, be open in the way y'all think, man. Y'all always say I just throw out content, but I'm always trying to turn over every stone.
Absolutely.
So when you do that, you're going to run across things you don't like. I put out Daniel Jones. Some people had a fit. I didn't care.
Man, no.
Think about what he brings to the table.
Yep.
He can make any NFL throw. He can use his legs. And even though he's tripping over, he can still use it.
Yeah,
so,
you can still.
Daniel Jones could be a great fit for the Falcons. Let me tell you how I tell y'all don't pay attention to things. And I'm going to just say this right quick. How many wide receivers did Daniel Jones have in New York? I wait.
Not many.
Not many. Kenny Galladay's probably.
Kenny Galladay was a shell of himself.
It was a shell of himself. They invested so much money into him. He hasn't produced. Sterling Shepard.
Saquon Barkley
he's always hurt.
Right. So Saquon Barkley had a knee injury his rookie season. Daniel Jones' rookie season, it took him 2 years to recover. Yeah. When he recovered, he helped Daniel Jones out. Daniel Jones went 8 games without throwing an interception. You come to Atlanta, you got Drake London, Kyle Pitts.
Right.
And let's just say, for the sake of argument, we draft Bijan Robinson. I guarantee you Daniel Jones becomes a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Right. Yeah. He fits into what we do, and he's a mobile quarterback. You've seen his legs. In the video, how many rushing touchdowns has he had?
I seen somebody say he can't run. Daniel Jones had 708 yards and 7 touchdowns last year running the football. Dang.
There it is.
No,
that makes logical sense.
That's more than our third string running back.
Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, before y'all, try to jump down my throat, y'all just best to learn the facts, and y'all better know football because I'm gonna burn you.
That's right.
I'm gonna burn you. I get tired of
just sad, man.
People telling me what I can't do, and on my channel, I be respectful and I, skip past it. But starting now, if you try to come at me, I'm gonna put you on Front Street. I'm gonna just tell you,
that's it, man.
Yeah, because one thing about me, I will research anything before I put it out there.
Yeah.
The reason why I like Daniel Jones is the reason why I told y'all.
Just that simple. That's it. Just that simple, man. And of course, man, it's just folks got to realize, man, this is one of the years, I think since 2015, that we've had some decent cap space. So where we lack in certain areas, there's going to be players that are going to be linked to Atlanta, whether you like it or not, whether that be a wide receiver, a popular or unpopular quarterback, same under that same breath for a running back. So you're not doing anything wrong by challenging the viewers also. So it's something
we talked about this. Please, both of y'all, please tell them why they connect every player to Atlanta. And it's common sense, really.
Man, it's the cap. For me, it's the cap space.
The cap space.
For me, it's that.
That is. So if you have a lot of cap space, the media, the analysts, everybody gonna tie you to any player that's available. That's
Correct.
why they want Lamar Jackson here, because we have 50 million in cap space.
Yeah.
Get in the conversation. You can afford it.
You could afford it. But before we talk about that, of being able to afford, and another unpopular quarterback being linked to the Falcons, let me bring up something right quick, Smitty.
Hold on, right quick.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. While you talking, put that graphic on the screen about what you had up earlier.
Got you.
Right about now. The cap space.
Boom, boom, boom. There it is.
There it is.
Okay.
That's the number that we're working with, that 56.65 million, and that number is gonna balloon up a little bit. We already know that the writing's on the wall for Marcus Mariota, so that's another 12 going on to that 56.
You take it down because it's blocking Kevo face.
I got you.
He might have some ladies on here looking at him, so I don't want to piss him off.
Man, y'all
Under that same breath, too, there's a lot of uncertainty revolving Casey Hayward, him being 34 years of age, coming off a significant injury like he is. So that's another $5 million, we can add on, bringing our total to around $70 million. Right now, per over the cap, this is the amount of money that we have allocated towards the offense, $98 million. Towards the defense, we have $62 million.
Repeat that one more time.
Defense.
Repeat that one more time.
Sure. Offense, we have $98 million allocated for. Defense, $62 million. If we're going to be successful this year, we got to find a happy medium. We have to find some sort of balance. So definitely that number on the defensive side at $62 million has to come up substantially if we want to be competitive in 2023. Hence the topic, what's stopping us from contention in 2023? I think if we, allocate the right assets, which we have towards the defense, that can help us, really make some noise in 2023, win the South, get a playoff berth, wild card, whether that be a wild card or a freak, win the division outright. Who knows? But there's got to be a balance in what we do in 2023. We already knew that, it was going to be bargain sharpening for the first 2 years. And a lot of people don't know, man, this is Terry and Arthur's third year together doing this draft situation. Third offseason.
All or nothing.
Exactly. It's all or nothing. Now you're working with great draft capital. We're slated to have 9 to 10 picks, 9 officially, 10th unofficial, because we don't know what's going on with that Foye Olukun situation. So, as far as compensation. Right. So,
and they haven't put it on the draft site yet. So
they haven't put it. So that's where that speculation comes from.
Because everybody been asking me about 9 picks. The only reason we have 8 because they haven't added the one for Foye Olukun yet.
Yep. Okay. So we don't know what that's going to net us. So we're sitting real pretty right now. We're sitting as the Kings right now in the NFC South, man. In my opinion. So with this money being had,
show them that first graphic where you had the cap space for the division.
Got you. Right here.
56.4 million.
Yep.
And this is why Lamar Jackson name keeps coming up. Everybody knows he's going to want a lucrative deal. And guess what? Mm-hmm. When he gets that lucrative deal, he can only get paid $25 to $30 million the first year. And they can backload the contract.
The rest of it.
See, y'all thinking he going to get $50 million up front when he's not. Most of that money is going to be allocated toward a signing bonus. Uh-huh. So if that is allocated towards the signing bonus, that cuts the yearly cap down to probably around 30 to 35 million. Second season, it may go up to 40 plus. Third season, when the 50 million kick in. So y'all got to learn this salary cap.
Yeah, man. That's what's that. That's what brings the beauty in this conversation. What the hell is stopping us from contending in 2023, man? They have no choice but to get this damn thing right. They have the space. They have the players that that are out there to make significant impacts, whether that be a Lamar Jackson or a Deron Payne, Unique and Jockway. There's a lot of players out there, man, that can come in and definitely right this ship for us.
And just like last year, man, he went to the CFL and found D. Offer.
Yeah.
D. Offer was passed over in the draft. He was an undrafted free agent, did not get signed to a roster, so he went to the CFL. Yep. What does he do the first year in the CFL? 4 interceptions, Grey Cup. Mm-hmm. So One thing I love about Terry Fontenot, he did it in New Orleans too. He would go to the ends of the earth to find talent, no matter where they at. He could find somebody in the backyard throwing the football. If they can throw it from one side of the street to the other, he'll sign them if he think they can help the team. So, like I said, man, it don't matter what we think. If they're going to take best player available at number 8 and Bijan Robinson is there, and the person that's on their draft board, their war room board is gone, and Bijan Robinson is up, guess what? They're going to take Bijan Robinson, no matter how we feel about it. So at the end of the day, man, it's about what they going to do. Right. All we do is talk, give our opinion.
And that's it, man.
No. Because, I mean, if they was listening to us, trust me, they would tune into my show whenever I come on.
That's a fact, man.
Well, go ahead, Alberto.
Yeah, no. So we covered the Lamar situation, which is going to be a very popular thing. The Daniel Jones thing, man, that's a very interesting point. That's a very interesting point. And you hit all the keys on how he would, fit with Atlanta and whatnot. So another unpopular name has been linked to the Atlanta Falcons, and a lot of NFL execs see him as a bridge gap starter for Desmond Ridder, and that being Jimmy Garoppolo. Shanahan was on record saying that he doesn't see a scenario where Jimmy G comes back to the 49ers. And of course, we're going to be linked to them as though, as is every other team in the NFC South, to be honest, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans as well. But Jimmy G for us as a potential fit. What do you guys think about that? I, for one, I'm not against it. It's just the cap number, according to Sports Track, it's he's valued at $25 million. I believe he only signed a 1-year, $7 million deal to return to San Francisco last year, something on the low end. So what do you guys think about Jimmy G as a possible, as the Atlanta Falcons being a possible suitor for Jimmy G and thing?
Oh man, like you said, I agree with you. As far as Jimmy himself, I'm not really knocking it. If we can get a better deal, we get something team friendly. I mean, it kind of, we kind of resemble a softer version of San Francisco. We like to run the ball. We got a unique tight end.
Got it.
We use Patterson in space like they use Debo. We kind of remind you, it will be a fit, and he can come in and take care of the ball if Ridder isn't ready. For some reason, if he regresses in the preseason or what have you, I wouldn't really knock it.
What is his market value? What does Sports Track say?
25.3 million.
How old is he?
31.
Not that bad.
No, that's not bad at all. 25 million. It's gonna be 25 to 30 and somewhere in that range. I agree with everything Kevo said. Run the same type offense with his own blocking scheme. But my thing would be, Arthur Smith will be willing to change the system just a little bit to accommodate his skill set, since he's not mobile. I think he would. And like I said, man, this move to me, if they went out to Jimmy G and they found a way to sign him, it would be more of a win now thing. And you can't knock him, man. Even though he doesn't put up stupid numbers, he finds a way to win football games.
He does.
They ended up in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Hell, if he plays against the Eagles, the 49ers probably win that football game.
True.
I'm going to be real with y'all.
Yeah.
Because look at what happened. The rookie quarterback goes out with an extended elbow injury. Then you put in a 15-year vet who has probably only played 15 games his whole career. Yeah. Then you put in a guy like Jimmy G. Led the 49ers to the Super Bowl. Led them to the NFC Championship. So,
thank you.
I love this comment right there.
Thank you.
Shout out to you, Tony.
Tony
Almeida won.
I said that in the Daniel Jones video. You got to get somebody to push Ridder, because when Matt Ryan was here, nobody pushed him the whole time he was here.
Exactly.
Nobody
want to go back and make that same mistake. Ryan, he was prime number one. Like he was always the quarterback number one, as we all know. He never had anybody behind him. I mean, you run through the names. DJ Shockley. Who else was there? Kurt Kittner, I believe, was here at one point.
Yep.
Just to name a few. So he never had any, anybody really, breathing down his neck, so to say.
I give
Britta
y'all
needs
the
that push.
all-time name that was behind him, but he was holding the clipboard.
Chris Redman.
John David Booty.
John David Booty.
Then he go to USC.
LSU.
LSU. Okay. Yeah, man. So definitely, Britta does need somebody to push him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to make the same mistake that you did with Ryan. And then, thankfully Ryan was, always a healthy quarterback. We never saw ourselves in a quarterback emergency.
I'm glad you brought that up because Tony, that's a damn good point. And I'm gonna say that again.
Yeah.
But when they did have somebody behind Matt Ryan, look at what happened when he came in the game from Sydney. Matt Sharp against the Seattle Seahawks in 2019, I think it was 2019 or 2020. It was one of those seasons, and it may have been 2020. He came in through for 400 yards. Because Matt Ryan was out with an injury, Matt Sharp came in through for 400 yards, just one touchdown, but he was slinging the ball all over the field. This is the key to having a successful team. When you have the right depth behind all the positions, it's gonna help the team more than anything. Because if you go, I'm gonna just say it like this. If you don't have the right depth at all positions like you're supposed to, you're going to fall short at the end of the day. Because superstars only last so long. And once those superstars get ran in the dirt because they're playing too many snaps, it's going to keep throwing your team behind. That's part of the reason why we cannot get on top like we're supposed to be. We don't have the right depth at a lot of positions. This is why we were getting tired in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So y'all got to understand, man. Y'all just got to understand. When you put a team together, you got to add depth. You got to add players at key positioning. And I know Jimmy Garoppolo will shake some of y'all the wrong way, but at the end of the day, he wins football games.
Yeah.
And there's no knock on Desmond Ridder if you bring in somebody to start over him.
Right.
I gotta keep reminding you he coaching for his job. That's just like if y'all on y'all 9 to 5 every day and y'all doing whatever y'all can to keep y'all job, but they bring in somebody to throw over you because they're better at the job. It's no knock on you. They doing it for the better of their company.
Yeah.
That's how y'all have to look at it. Yep. So
shout out to Miss Pamela Johnson. Thank you for tuning in as always. We appreciate your support so much, Pamela.
Thank you, Miss Pam. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But go ahead, Berto.
Yeah, like you were saying. So begs this question right here. We got to hit in this draft. Thank you, Ray Leg, for 44 for this beautiful comment here. And I agree with this. We have to hit in this draft. This is year 3 of the Terry and Arthur Smith draft process. We took Kyle Pitts at 1, which is a much argued pick because so much value was in that draft in 2021. And last year, we had to take a wide receiver. We had lost Julio Jones. We had lost Calvin Ridley. So Drake London was there for the pick, and I understand that, and I still agree with that pick. This year, now, we know that the defense still is the issue. So that's where I see the Falcons going in. So in all essence, man, we have to hit in this draft. We have to have a 2016 like NFL draft and let that propel us into the future. Because with the cap money that we have, how free agency is going to unfold, which we all don't know. But the draft also, you know what I mean? That's a true telling to how great the Falcons can be in 2023 and beyond, man. So
agreed.
What you think? Anything you want to add to that there, Kevo?
Oh no, man, I agree with you, man. Just hitting in the draft is pivotal. Like, hitting in free agency or whatever, that's cool. But guys get hurt.
Yeah.
Like Smitty said, as the season goes on, you gotta have those guys that can fill in. Everybody's not gonna play those full 17 games. And it shows when we run up against better teams, later on in the season, they had guys like the Panthers, they had Deontay Foreman. They had guys ready to step up, and it especially on their D line, man. They just had a little bit. They had too much for us up front. You got guys like Matt Ioannidis and Derek Brown.
Right.
It's too much.
Yeah, man.
They got it. They got to hit in this draft, man. Mainly because, as I stated earlier, the reason why they got to hit is do or die for Arthur Smith, whether y'all like it or not.
Got to.
2 7-10 season. You think Arthur Blank is going to wait to see what happens, just like he did with Dan Quinn? Not going on again as long as he alive. I'm gonna be real with
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah. He's tired of seeing it too, man.
But the main reason why they have to hit in this draft, they got to think about the future. And what I mean by that, Tyler Algier is the youngest person in that backfield. Like I said, Caleb Huntley. We don't know how he's going to come back because Achilles injuries can, shorten your career.
Big
Avery
time,
Williams, he's not an every down back. He's not even a backup back. He's a kick returner, punt returner.
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson, 32 years old. We see him running out of gas at the end of the season, the last 2 seasons. So why is B. John Robinson a problem?
Mm-hmm. I don't see why he would be a problem. The dynamic that young man will add. Oh my God,
right.
man.
Another reason why they got to hit in this draft. Who's playing on the other side of AJ Terrell?
Yeah.
No clear-cut favorite.
No clear-cut favorite. You're right. Absolutely.
Who's playing safety? Richard Grant and Jalen Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Who's playing next to Grady Jarrett?
A revolving door.
Offensive line. We have 2 holes, one at left guard, one at right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
This is why he got to hit at this draft. This
is
why I think trading back makes the most sense, because you're going to add depth and you're going to add talent. And with one of those picks that you get with trading back from number 8 can put you back at the bottom of the first round.
Yeah.
So this is why you got to hit on this draft, because not only is his job, but his organization's future is in flux. Because I'm gonna be real with y'all. This is why I think they need to trade for a young veteran quarterback. This is why Lamar Jackson has came up on my mind a lot. What if Desmond Ridder is not that guy? You starting over at quarterback again in the next 2 to 3 years, when you can have Lamar Jackson for the next 5 years and build around him. And we know what we got in him. We don't know what we have in Ridder. And if they had trust in Ridder, they would have shut Lamar Jackson talk down a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
so
it's true.
He just got it. He just got to hit, man, because if he doesn't hit in this draft, his job is gone. We're set back 2 to 3 years. We could possibly lose Grady Jarrett and AJ Terrell. So this draft is more vital than probably anyone we've had in our franchise's history. I'm just be real with y'all.
No, man, there ain't nothing wrong with that, man. There ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Because, man, for one thing, I saw an interesting comment. Oh, this one right here. Let's get a GA. To Smitty's point, we have to bring in the right guys in free agency that can contribute immediately, right? While also adding depth. We pissed away the Super Bowl because our defense was exhausted in the fourth quarter and in OT.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Perfectly said, man. Perfectly
And
said.
What did I just say about Grady Jarrett? Nobody next to him.
Nobody.
The last trade that we made on defense that made a difference with John Abraham way back in 2005. Or 2006, I'm sorry. 2006. If Alberto's intuition tells him go get Quentin Williams, that's what they should do.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, he's a difference maker. We need somebody next to Grady Jarrett, and if we ain't got to give up no first round pick,
Gotta do it. Gotta strike while
you trade back from 8 to 13 and B. John Robinson is still there. Why not go get him?
Yeah.
You got a defensive tackle that can come in, and you're going to sign to a contract right away. So you get that contract out the way. You add him with Grady Jarrett, that helps your pass rush immensely. You still got 2 young guys out there. I think they will bring back Lorenzo Carter. I'm not sure, but I think it's the right thing to do. But if Bridgeon Robinson is out there after you go get a defender like Quentin Williams, why not? Because what did I just say about the running backs? Who do you have other than Tyler Algier? Let's be real.
No, that's it. We gotta run down, CP. We've seen that the last 2 years he just slows down towards the end of the year, man. It's just that Atlanta has him doing so much, man. So really, it's time to reduce his role and put him in a set position, man. whether that be just kickoff returns. That's it, man. I think he would add so much value there. You know, I always think of it like this. You know, imagine always starting at the 40-yard line. You know, that's a win in itself, right?
Shorten the field, yeah.
Shorten
when you shorten the field with a running team, that alone would probably get you 3 touchdowns because you're gonna pound them into submission by the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree. Now, Cordell Patterson, he's gonna be a locker room guy, point blank. Yeah. This is why his salary does not bother me. $5 million ain't never chump change to them. You can go to McDonald's and Varsity or wherever you want to go and get a combo, come out the same thing. So Cordell Patterson more of a glue guy than he is a football player.
Of course.
Yeah.
He the one keeps that locker room together. Let's
be
real
you can tell, man. Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
But Wallace, man, I definitely agree, man. When we cut Anthony Rush, that just hurt us.
Oh yeah.
It did.
I mean, they're never gonna admit it. Nope. But we saw it. When he was on this team, Grady Jarrett was thriving. 3.5 sacks. Y'all know how many he had the last 13 games? 2.5.
Yep.
So tell me he wasn't making a difference.
Absolutely.
Now, see, this is why he got to hit in this draft. You got to find somebody to bring out the best in these players. You got to.
Yeah, you got to. You can almost sense that they're going to learn from this mistake, and I wouldn't be surprised if defensive tackle is probably the first priority on their list in this offseason, man, because like you mentioned, man, Grady was, he was doing phenomenal. He was doing great. Rush leaves. He becomes more of a more double team than anything. He's not as effective going down the stretch. So definitely you got to keep your best player, fresh and be the game record that he is on a every down in every down. So definitely, man. What's this question say? Yeah, what are y'all thoughts on adding some legit veterans like Patrick Peterson, Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, and others?
And I'm gonna do a short
Peterson.
I'm gonna do the short on Matt Ryan. I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
I'm gonna do a short on Matt Ryan and give y'all the reason why. I think he could come in and help. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I like the Patrick Peterson situation. Patrick Peterson, only 31 years old. He was the best thing on that Vikings defense, and that Vikings defense was horrendous last year. Yeah. So, and he was still balling. Yeah, worse in the league, and they were still balling. Patrick Peterson, of course, always played as a corner, but I can see him in that Charles Woodson type thing where he transitions into safety. He's athletic enough to, go ahead and make the switch over. And him, publicly saying he wants to come to Atlanta, that just makes it all the better. You know what I mean? So getting him here on a veteran minimum or something, or respects to him, somewhere where he can make some money and incentives, like a 2-year, let's say $12 million deal or something like that.
Yeah, right.
I'm all for it, man. I'm all for Patrick Peterson being here. The other guys, Julio and Matt, just not so sure on, man. I don't know how that Julio situation to me is still dicey, man. We don't know what the hell really happened there. We can all speculate, but I don't even know if he would want to come back to Atlanta to finish it out, man. And who knows what Matt Ryan thinks? Atlanta went behind him and was facilitating deals.
I don't think he'll want to come back either because of what happened with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm getting to. Yep.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I wouldn't be mad if he did come back for 1 year. He could help Desmond Ridder. That's the only reason why I would want him back.
Yeah, a whole lot more than what Mariota could have done. Because really, what was Ridder going to learn from Mariota? Really not much. Really not much.
Probably had to break dance on his back while at the 50-yard line. That's about all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so.
But Kevo, go ahead, man. What you think about that question?
I would like to see Pat Peterson. As far as Julio, man, I think that ship is sailed, man. He just can't stay healthy. Right. It is when you get bigger guys like that, they play the receiver position, man. Their body tends to break down. And Julio was never a route technician. So, it breaks down, man. His speed is and his body is leaving him, man. As far as Matt, I don't think he will, but I would like to see him like in a leadership role. He can help Desmond, but I don't think. I don't know, man. Honestly, I think Matt should give it up. I see that he's linked to San Francisco because they're saying Purdy might be out for some time if he takes that Tommy John surgery. So, yeah, but I don't see it with Matt, man. I wouldn't even want him to come back here as far as starting, and I don't think they would do that in the first place, man. It would look bad if you go back crawling to him.
Yeah. And I agree with y'all, man. Pat Peterson, 66 tackles last year, 5 interceptions for a 31-year-old. That's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that lets me know he has at least 2 to 3 years left in the tank. If you can get 2 years out of him, bring in a Christian Gonzalez or Devon Witherspoon as a rookie and train with him and AJ, you working with you cooking with fish grease like Alberto said. But yeah, Patrick Peterson probably would be the only fit out of that question. Julio, is time for him to hang him up the cleats. Matt Ryan, I think he got probably another year if he wants to play, but he's probably going to hang it up as well. But the question that you have right here, Wally Smith, just go to my video. I give you every detail as to why we should sign Dalvin Tomlinson. I think that would be a great pickup. And it won't be as much as a Deron Payne, but it will be as solid, and it will probably be even better than Deron Payne, because I think Dalvin Thomas is a better run stopper.
I think so too. Yeah, he's just tailor made for a run stopping scheme. And Atlanta, well, we know with our new defensive coordinator, so to say, we don't know if we're going to stay in that 3-4 or we're going to see more 4-3. So in either one of those, Dalvin Tomlinson will be an excellent value for either scheme, man, for sure.
I agree.
Let me see. Let's go to the chat real quick. Yeah, we would love for this if Julio can come and at least be a mentor to Drake. We would love that for sure. But man, it's just we don't know, man. That situation ended the way that it did.
Snake bit, man.
It'll be. I just can't see it, man. I just really can't see it. Julio's gonna be one of those guys that's just gonna announce a retirement, and that's gonna be it. I don't even think he comes back to Atlanta to sign a one-day contract to retire Falcon, man. I don't know, man. I think something happened behind closed doors between him and Arthur Blank where it just soured right there, and that was it.
At the end of the day, I think it'll reach McKay more than anybody because his relationship with Arthur Blank was probably one of the best I've seen, in football. Arthur Blank promised him his money. He found a way to give it to him. And I think Rich McKay messed it up. And I hate to say that. But him and Arthur Blank was, tight as a rope. That's true. For him to come back, man, I just couldn't see it because, one, his hamstrings are cooked like bacon. And two, the way things ended on live national television, he kind of, embarrassed Arthur Blank after Arthur Blank gave him a contract. And the sad part, the thing that made me mad about the whole situation, you gave him $66 million, and he really didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that when he went and asked for a trade, that shit just didn't happen overnight. That's something that happened the year before or the year before that, before he signed that contract. So the signs were there. We just didn't pay him no attention. So he said we have another losing season in his mind. When we have another losing season, I'm just gonna ask for a trade. Yeah. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Trucker Mike, man, 404. Thank you for always tuning in and dropping this comment, man. DJ Chark or Alan Lazard, man. I wouldn't mind DJ Chark. Yep.
I'll let y'all get on this right quick, but I'm gonna just say these couple of words.
Go ahead.
Alan Lazard wants 15 to 17 million, so that's a no for me.
Man, you just took that from me, man. Yeah, absolutely.
You took that from me.
I wouldn't mind DJ Chark, as long as he can stay healthy, because he does have that little bit of injury history there. But I wouldn't mind him at all. On a good contract compared to what the hell Alan Lazard wants, 15 to 17 million. I don't know, bro. That's just a little too rich, right? Rich for me. But weirder things have happened. So, but if that's what he's sticking by, I think Atlanta should just, look to another
15 to 17 million. 15 to 17 million.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a double-digit touchdown season? Nope. Have you ever had a triple-digit catch season?
Nope.
Have you ever
made the Pro Bowl?
Have you ever had 1,000 yards in one season?
No.
No. There's a lot of questions that are gonna be coming into that meeting room when he comes in, man.
Yeah, I pass on that one.
Yeah, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's talented. He's good. You know what I mean? But it's just the numbers, man. It's just the numbers.
Yeah.
In that case, I wouldn't have went and got Devontae Adams last year.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
for that type
he's
of money.
doing what he's supposed to do, though, man. I mean, free agency is about being free, but
yeah,
I mean, we're not gonna be those suckers. Yeah, we're not gonna be the suckers.
Right.
Exactly.
Damn.
Well, yeah, Chicago got the money. Maybe they'll give it to him.
Man,
Shoot, man. They already overpaid for Claypool with that compensation.
Yeah,
they gave up a 2nd-round pick. Yeah. It's just time with Claypool too, man. He's got to learn that system a little bit better before he can start, really contributing the way he was down in Pittsburgh. But joining us right now, man, is Damon Deuce, a friend to the show. Gonna add him right here. Say what's up to the folks, Damon. What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? How everybody doing today?
Hey, what's up,
Sunday?
We doing good. We doing good. Go ahead and sip you
man,
some
you
of that
can't come
coffee.
here drinking, man. Come on.
No, this is tea, man.
Oh, okay. You an herbal type. You good? All right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's sipping on that tea Alan Lazard sipping on because that dude lost his mind talking about 15 to 17 million.
I know, man.
The Lazard special.
For real.
I get that to Drake London before I get it to him.
Yeah.
And Drake
Shoot.
But he just trying to come up off Aaron Rodgers. That's all.
Yeah.
He played with Aaron Rodgers, so he said, "Look what I did with Aaron."
Maximize your mobility while you can. Yeah.
Okay, Donald Martinez, man. You see them making a trade for Chase Young?
Go ahead, dude. Go ahead, Damon. You the last one in, so you the first one to answer.
Get them Buckeyes on.
Put you on the hot seat.
The Packers are trying to make a trade for Chase Young.
No, shit. The Falcons. Do you see the Falcons making a trade?
Oh man, if the price is right, because Chase, he's a game breaker, man. Like anytime he's on the field. So, what would the cost be? Maybe like a couple first or something on a pick swap. Player swap.
He been hurt too much. You know when they get no first for him.
Coming off that
knee.
Third or fourth is what they're gonna get. Because he's a bust right now.
And pick up the contract, I guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before you answer that, Damon, let me get Kevo one more question. And he got the roll.
Okay.
All right, fellas, I just got a question for y'all, man.
What's up, man?
What strategy or do you guys see us having to outbid Chicago? Because I mean, they have more money than us, so they may have to move. I'm saying them probably moving like Jacksonville. But they'll be able to overpay guys a little more than we can.
So you mean for Deron Payne?
Just for almost any free agents, because we can both afford almost anybody we want. So let's say it's a bidding war. I mean, can we really convince guys that we're ahead of them or we're a better spot to go to? Because they can already offer a little bit more than we do. So like, how do you guys see us outbidding teams if it comes down to like Deron Payne or whomever? Like
that's a great question.
That is a
great question. But
you can almost see teams or players, I should say, just going to the Bears because of the money. At the end of the day, it's always money. Money runs it, man, in the business world, of course. But there's lore in Atlanta. Okay. There's a culture here. The city, the players already here in place. We're only a few pieces away from making some noise. While you look at Chicago, they still have to replace a would-be David Montgomery, because he's a free agent. We don't know if he's leaving. Okay, Khalil Mack, you still got to replace him from some years back. Who else? Roquan Smith. That's another guy you got to replace. You need corners over there. That's a team that's really in the midst of a rebuild versus Atlanta that's kind of coming off a rebuild because the pieces are sort of here, and we're going to be adding more to what we have as a nucleus. So we have more of a say on, as to who can come here and who won't. So I feel like Atlanta is still, the place to be. As far as overpaying for players, nah, man, I just can't see Atlanta getting into that game, man.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just say this right quick. I wouldn't get in a bidding war with nobody.
No.
Because not even Deron Payne. Because as I said, you got a guy like Davin Thompson that can come in and do the same job for a cheaper price. So I don't think Fontenot will get in a bidding war with nobody. The only way he gets in the bidding war if it's a quarterback that he can come in and lead this team to a Super Bowl.
Gotcha.
And
I agree.
I really don't. Other than that, position wise, I don't see it.
Mm-hmm. He's right here, right? Let Chicago overpay for Payne, and we get the next 3 guys.
There we go.
Why
right.
not?
That's what I wanted to hear.
Right now, that you get
That's
an impact guy,
about.
and you build the depth behind it, because depth has been always the problem for Atlanta for God knows how many years. So yeah, hell yeah, I love this.
I got you.
But man, Kevo, thank you for tuning in and dropping time with us, man. We truly appreciate it, man.
Definitely, man.
Like I said, man, you're always welcome to come on if you want.
Of course.
Got the road. Just tell everybody where to find you before you get out of here.
Hey, you guys can find me on Twitter at KXNGKEVO. You can find my podcast on Spotify, again, repping the DMV area. You come on to the Crown Ones podcast, you wear the crown, and it's your episode, whether you got some entrepreneurship going on, you want to talk about current events, sports, fashion, whatever, man. It's an open book. Thank y'all for having me on, man. I see y'all
always.
He spit facts because I was the guest, and, I threw out everything I could, and he rolled with it.
Of course. I try to.
Big sneaker enthusiast, by the way, too. So you got to check him out on Twitter. He's always retweeting these Jordans and these LeBrons and whatnot. So
yeah.
Hey man,
that's dope, man.
If it's not sports or Falcons, man, I try to be an open book so I can have a plethora of different followers or have more. I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, he's just a sports junkie. He's just a sneaker junkie." I'm open, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He the only person I seen with. You know, the only person I seen with the boots with the pandas on them. I'm just joking.
Kevo, you're the
all
man,
right, bro.
Thank you for stopping
by.
by.
All right, thank y'all, man.
Appreciate you. Enjoy
I'll tune in for the rest when I get back.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Okay.
Man, I wanted to bring one up right here. Somebody said something about this young wide receiver that has been in the talks too, right here. Shouts out to AJ Evans. Thank you for this, man. T. Higgins worth the money?
Somebody asked me that question. That's a tough question.
Yeah, it is very tough.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't want to hear y'all saying. I don't want to hear y'all saying it because. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I would have thought Tyler Boyd would have been the first one going, because T. Higgins and Chase, man, what a dynamic duo that is right there. So Tyler Boyd is probably like the third wheel in that offense, man. You've seen the emergence of Hayden Hurst. That's one of their own free agents. So whatever way they want to value that, you know what I mean. I just can't think of them getting rid of T. Higgins, man. I just can't. But he's definitely worth it, though, man.
I'm gonna tell y'all, that's the cheapest team in the. They own it super cheap. This dude went in and buy a loaf of bread and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I just think with T. Higgins, man, and I don't want to hear about Jamar Chase. He good because of Jamar Chase. He was there before Jamar Chase. He's always put up numbers. Did y'all see what he did in the Super Bowl last year? This dude is ready. He could be a number one if he wanted to.
Yep, you sure can.
But when it comes to the money, Alan Lazard saying 15 and 17 wouldn't give it to him.
No.
T. Higgins, I would definitely think about it.
Definitely.
And the reason why I say that, he's a team player.
Yep.
And I can see him getting out of Cincinnati mainly because of what happened with DeMar Hamlin and how he got those threats and all that. Maybe time to move on anyway. But when you talk about T. Higgins, man, you saw him at Clemson. He had greatness written all over him. He got a quarterback in Joe Burrow to get him the football. He comes to Atlanta and they can get him the football. I can see the same type product. And Drake London would be a good number 2 to him because I think he would take over as the number 1 receiver. But I think T. Higgins, he would be worth the money. But do I see Atlanta shelling it out? No, I don't.
No. Woo. Talk to him, Smitty.
Ah, boy.
Damn, Jordan vibe. Okay.
Jerome 6911116. Just go to my page while we on here talking. I did a video on that day before yesterday on Friday.
I'm gonna stick.
Keon White. Keon White is definitely Cam Jordan. Definitely.
Yeah. I took it a step further. I said, and remember from the text, man. Dude reminds me of Aldon Smith, man. Long, lengthy, athletic guy who he plays with such great leverage, man. So Aldon Smith was really a hard guy to block, man. That's why he always had these high sack numbers. Keon White, man, from the little bit of footage that you see, you can already see that he uses his arm extensions really well, and he knows how to shed and block very well, for being a college guy. So, yeah, I mean, that's the vibe that he gave me, man, was Alden Smith. But Cam Jordan, hey, shit, I can see that too, man. Absolutely.
Yep.
So while we on the topic and stuff like that, if you see
we cut Damon off though. He was saying something. I forgot.
I was about to ask him a question. Yeah, go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. What you got to ask?
No, what's stopping Atlanta from contending in 2023? What are your thoughts?
I would probably say like what Kay was talking about. It'll probably be other teams with probably more cap space. I would probably say Chicago wouldn't be one, even though they're flush with cap. But like you said, they're rebuilding. They have to rebuild that identity on defense. So yeah, Jacksonville could probably be a place that could possibly outbid. Like they took Forsay,
right,
a linebacker from last year. So and they just made that playoff push. So that would be one thing to look out for. But I think, Atlanta, just the location and, the coaching and the brotherhood, the leadership, which you could sell players on, I think that'll be one of those determining factors that Atlanta has like in their pocket.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah, Jacksonville with that team last year, man. They went and got, and what I loved about what happened in Jacksonville, they went out, they let their coach go out and pick the type of player that he wanted after he got there. And I love that. So this is why, the reason why, not only do they have to hit it in the draft, but they have to hit it free agency. If you start free agency off getting the right players to fill in those spots that you need, it makes the draft that much easier. If they go out and get like spots that we said like defensive tackle, cornerback, you definitely trade back and go get the best player available. Mm-hmm. And this is why Damon gonna like this too, because he said it too. This is why Bijan Robinson becomes more and more looking like he's going to be an Atlanta Falcon. Think about it. Man. If you hit on what you're supposed to in free agency, it makes the draft that much easier.
Well, because he's a free money skill position, so it's just. I thought about it from a standpoint. You look at what Terry has done the past couple of years to put offense in place. He's gone with Kyle Pitts. He's gone with Drake London. So if we continue with that same rationale, you would think he's still going to pick best player available. So let's say, for instance, if there is a run on high-end defensive guys, if Will Anderson is gone, if Jalen Carter is gone, would you look at Brian? Would you look at Breeze? Would you look at Tyree Wilson? Would those guys be
Tyree Wilson definitely
at second level? So or would you pair another blue chip offensive guy to finish off that offense to where running backs, they have a shelf life in the NFL. So if you can get a good one for cheap, especially with a 5th-year option, that's tangible because now you have Josh Jacobs, you have the Pollards that's out there. You're gonna have to pay for them. Their asking price is gonna start at 10+.
Yep.
Bijan Robinson, he comes in cheap, and
you'll have him for the same price for 5 years.
Same price, right? For 5 years, you don't have to worry about that contract for years down the line. So I like what you're thinking, man. And, one thing is, if we take Bijan Robinson at 8, the fan base is going to be like, what the fuck, another offensive player at 8?
But I gave them the perfect example earlier. If y'all didn't hear it, go back and press the rewind button.
The last two made sense. Drake London made sense because of the need at wide receiver, having just gotten rid of Julio and the Calvin Ridley situation. So that one. So this one, if we take Bijan Robinson, then you kind of have to see it for what it is. CP's getting long in the tooth. He's getting older. You mentioned Huntley's injury and that Achilles injury. And mind you, man, the timing of that injury too, he's not going to be ready probably until the later part of next year.
In the middle of the season?
In middle of the season
Possibly,
or so.
Yeah.
Yep. And those Achilles, man, those are a hard thing to come, back from. So you really don't have another number 2. You have a true number 1 in Algier. Bring in a guy like Bijan Robinson. Oh, my God. With them two,
home run hitter,
man. Home run hitter all day.
You got your power runner to wear down the defense, then you got your home run hitter to take it home. Yeah. And I guarantee you, with those two guys by itself, that's an automatic 21 points. Automatic.
I was also thinking like maybe like in free agency, some guys I was looking at some number 2 guys, maybe a Paris Campbell from the Colts, maybe a Darius Slayton from the Giants. He's 6'1", 190.
Possession.
He's from Norcross. You know, so you know people could feel good about that. You bringing a guy back home. You know, he's a number 2. You know, I think he would pair really well next to Drake. You know, a nice veteran guy. You know who would fill in that second role. He'll garner leadership. I could picture him, maybe Zacchaeus, him and Cordell. You know, that's a nice wide receiving duo right there.
Man. Corey Davis will be another good pickup, and JJ the Great makes a great point about this one, man. He has experience with Arthur Smith from Tennessee, so he's probably due to get cut from the Jets. So he's another name to keep an eye on, and that's a guy that you don't have to break the bank on either. You know, you can get him for a cheap 2 to 3 year deal.
Yeah, you'll probably get it for about 10 a year,
if that. You know what I mean? So
if that, so that I can see that.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah, I say this right quick.
Go ahead.
I'm a bad influence on people when it comes to cracking jokes, because everybody comes in the comments now. That's all they do. And Damon, this is no slight to you, but this just happens. They crack jokes on anybody. They got Alberto a week before that.
Man, they said I was dehydrated on the live because I kept drinking water. Fucking hilarious, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so Emperor, man, all love, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, it's my fault, because when we start talking about Dunkin' Donuts, I start cracking jokes. Man, and that's what it's been ever since. So, hey, here's what it is, bro.
But man, if anybody got any more to add on, please do. I got a quick little, not a rant, but a sense of hope for this 2023 outlook. But I'll let you go first, Smitty. See what you got, man.
Miles Murphy or Tyree Wilson, that's a tough one.
Wow.
But I'm gonna go Miles Murphy because he has more experience. I think Tyree Wilson is a little bit raw. Miles Murphy definitely. And the reason why I say that, he's about 6'4", 275, 280. He can slide inside out. And I actually I wouldn't say I like his motor better, but I just think he has more experience. But I do think Tyree Wilson could eventually evolve and be better than him, because he's a damn freak of nature. 6'6", 275. And if y'all go look at that video I just put up, I put in a little bit of highlight clips. And this dude, man, when you talk about burst at the end, getting to the quarterback, this dude just like, a crackhead running from the police. That's how fast he can get from the outside to the quarterback. Just go look at the tape. Just go look.
Good tape on him. Good tape. I'm warming up to Miles Murphy too, man. I mean, I got this thing about Clemson fucking edge rushers, man. They scared the shit out of me. But I'm warming up to that possibility if we go that direction. I wouldn't be mad at that for those intangibles that he has. He shows to be somewhat of a wrecker in his case, and it's not because Brian Brees is on playing on that same defensive line. I think it's just more that Miles Murphy made everybody else around him a little bit better in their game. Right. So he's a good value pick at that.
Yeah, Miles Murphy, he looks like a real good power rusher. I liked what I saw on tape. I wanted dive deep more on him as a prospect, and I kind of like what I saw with Tyreek Wilson, what he could turn into. But he kind of was like a little stiff, though. Like, I don't know if you could move him around as much, but I like the flexibility he did play in like a 3-4 kind of. They had him all over the place, but he just didn't look too comfortable given his size. He's like 6'6", 275, so he's a bigger end. So I guess wherever he lands, the defensive coordinator, just have to get creative with him and probably give him time to mature. But he's a great power rusher, though, from what I saw.
Agreed.
Yeah. Agreed, man.
And that's what they need, to be honest. And the reason why I say that is because I think he's better against the run as well. And the way we played against the run, we definitely need run stoppers on that line.
For sure. Anything you want to add, Smitty?
You had a rant. Let's hear your rant, then I go.
That's not much around. I don't bitch and complain a lot, but I'm gonna just say this for this 2023 outlook, man. Yeah, sky's the limit. Definitely, I think Atlanta has had many mistakes in the past where they can damn sure learn from. Given all the facts that we spewed out through the course of the show, 56 million talks for itself. Potential 70 with the cuts that are coming. Adding the right pieces to this roster is really going to elevate us and put us in serious contention. I look at this team and I'm going to make a parallel to another team, and y'all can call me crazy if you want. Chat, go off if you have to. But I can see us going on a 2012 type New York Giant run for this Atlanta Falcons team in 2023. And if y'all know, that 2012 New York Giant team went on a 9-7 run, went wild card berth, went to the goddamn Super Bowl and won it. And what they really had on
as a wild card team.
As a wild card team that year, and I remember the stats, they had 30 sacks as a defense. And that's what guys like Justin Tuck, Osi Umenyiora, Colbert, I believe it was their nose tackle, defensive tackle, really nobody that struck fear in the hearts of, like, as far as defense to any opposing offenses or anything like that. They just had a lot of cohesiveness. And Atlanta can do that this year, bringing in the right pieces to, complement Tyler Algier, complement Drake London. Let's not forget, we got to compliment, Grady Jarrett and AJ Terrell as well. If we bring up the right pieces, I think the Falcons, without a shadow of a doubt, can go on the same style run. There's so much similarities that team offers that we have now, as far as the sack numbers and as far as, the offensive output. We can do some of that same damage that 2012 team, had in the Giants. I really feel like the Falcons could definitely head that in that direction for 2023. I'm going to hang my hat on that, man. I really feel like, this is
hey, man.
I feel like
you think about it. If you think about
man.
You think about what they had in 2012, and their defense won. And this is why I said if we can balance out the offense and the defense, like you said earlier, I think that could possibly happen. Yeah. But we have a super chat from Esteban De Leon, and I hope I pronounced that right because
De Leon.
I'm bad at names, but he said, honestly, I think we should try to get Diggs. And what he mean by Diggs is Stephon Diggs. Keep Ritter to let him grow. Diggs, London, Pitts, Algier, and CP sound like a contended team. That would probably be one hell of an offense as far as running back, wide receiver, and quarterback. But we have to think about the offensive line. We have two holes, just like I said. But if you go get a Diggs, and you got to pay him because I think he's about that $20 million range.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a bad move because, like I said, you fill out the offense. But if you do that, man, you better make sure you hit on everything else in free agency. That's offensive line, defensive line. And that's the deal with making these moves with these superstar elite players. You got to fill out everything else with what you have left. So if they go get Diggs, I would not be mad. But $20 million on receiver, like I said with Julio, I don't think I would ever do that again. Yeah. And the reason why I say that, and the reason why I always say that is I think wide receiver is one of those positions, as I always say, very replenishable, and you can go get a wide receiver like a Corey Davis, like y'all said, or another free agent out there that can do the same thing and put up numbers. So I had to say no to that.
Your thoughts, Damon?
You would really have to have a plan in place to go after a Diggs, because I think he's ingratiated himself with Buffalo. They're not going to let him go for cheap.
No, man. They're going to sell
even though it'd be
him.
Great, trying to build an offense and identity on offense. But yeah.
And not only that, man, as I said all year long, do y'all really trust Arthur Smith play calling in the clutch to go get a guy like that? and you can't get him to football. I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to be funny, man. Situational play calling is key in the NFL.
Either you have it or you don't.
When Matt Ryan won MVP in 2016, Matt Ryan half the time didn't even make it to third down. And you know why? Because Kyle Shanahan called the right plays at the right time. He hit a lot of Matt Ryan weaknesses and used his strengths. And that's how you built that. That's how they built their offense. So, you just got to build a team the right way, man.
Right.
And going to get a $20 million receiver, I just don't see it.
Yeah. He was the one piece away from making a Super Bowl run, but
definitely. Yeah. But
Atlanta has a little bit more holes than that. So if they can get labor on the cheap, that would be more advantageous for Atlanta right now, given the cap situation.
Right. And I see a wide receiver, the dude from Princeton, 6'2", about 215, 429. If he can get his route runner under control and become a good, decent route runner, that's a guy we're looking at in the third round. That is a wide receiver that can come in and contribute right away.
What's his name, Smitty?
I can't pronounce it. Don't even go there.
No, man.
I'll fuck it up. I'm gonna just be real. You must have watched my video because I messed it up real bad. I slaughtered it like a pack of ribs on the grill, man. I'm telling you.
Oh man. Damn.
Well, Andre.
Yeah. It's Andre. That's his first name, Andre.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easy one.
What's that last name though?
Io Savaz or some shit like that. Nathan Floyd got the last name up there, so
yeah.
He's Russian.
He Russian?
Mm-hmm.
So the I is silent.
Lasvas
or
no, it's an I, not an ear.
If the I silent,
Lascivus.
Osivas or something like that.
Andre
I don't
know.
know.
What you gonna call him? Andre
Lowe? Yeah. We'll call him Andre.
Andre.
Oh shit, man.
They know.
You want to add?
They know.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead. But yeah, I mean, you just got to build this thing the right way, man. Just no need. And for all y'all that saying get rid of a chance, y'all don't really know if the Falcons gonna give him a chance, because I keep telling y'all, man, and I'm gonna stick to it. This Lamar Jackson talk did not come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just tell somebody to leak something for these analysts and these reporters and these writers to keep saying Lamar Jackson gonna end up in Atlanta. Somebody done said something to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all just gotta understand, man, it is what it is. At the end of the day, they got to put the best product on the field.
Right.
So it all starts with what position? The quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And if y'all job was on the line with y'all trusting the second-year quarterback, just be honest with me.
Yeah. He left a lot to be desired, man. He should have started a little bit earlier,
man,
to build on the 768 yards that he performed with, and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 and 2 as
and
a
that's
starter.
Arthur Smith's fault.
Yeah.
So if Arthur Smith get fired because of Desmond Ritter, it's not Desmond Ritter's fault. It's Arthur Smith's fault. You left Mariota in 3-4 games too long, and that might have been a mistake that cost you your job.
Yep. And this is the gateway to the reason and the speculation right here. It's simply how aggressive Atlanta was, went about trying to get Deshaun Watson with no cap money.
They couldn't even buy no chili cheese fry from Checker, man.
Nothing, man. And Lamar's there now to be had, possibly with cap. Expect Atlanta to probably do something, man. I would expect
and
if at least do that.
And if it's not Lamar Jackson, it's going to be a super elite caliber player. It's going to be somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and for those that missed part of the show in the beginning, man, Atlanta has $96 million allocated towards the offense for this coming year, and only $68 million allocated towards the defense this year. If this team is going to be successful, they have to find a balance. So expect that defensive number to come up for sure, man.
Just think about that. $96 million to an offense that has holes. 62 to a defense that played with a lot of second, third string practice squad players. Just think about that. And they still went 7-10. So they're on the borderline of getting to be a playoff team already. You replace those second, third string tier players with starters, elite players, things of that nature through the draft and free agency. That 7-10 could flip to 10-7 instantly. So they're on the cusp of being a playoff team already with a 7-10 team with $80 million in dead cap space. Yeah. So just got to be patient, man.
Got to be patient.
See the pieces to the puzzle. Yeah.
That's a name that keeps coming up again, Kareem Hunt.
Oh, man. We called this back up in August, man. We did a video on it, man. Kareem Hunt would have been a great fit at the time for Atlanta. Still is a great fit for Atlanta.
At the time, he still could be a great fit. But again,
still could
he's
be
going to want about $15 million. Well, you can go draft Bijan Robinson and get it's $10 million for 5 years. Or at least 4, because in that 5th year, if he's balling out, he's going to want a new contract. So at least 4 years at $10 million whole. So,
yeah, man.
But the more and more I see it, man, I'm going to just keep it real. I just see them trading back from number 8. It just makes sense.
Got to this year.
Because if they trade back from 8, they can possibly trade back up into the first and have 2 first-round picks. And your boy who's from Baylor, the dancing bear, he's going to be at the bottom of the first.
That's right. Yep.
And that's Grady Jarrett's help if they don't find that in free agency.
Let me ask you, Smith, do you think that would be too early for a nose tackle, though?
No. And I say that because there are a lot of teams right now that could use him. Pittsburgh is one because Cam Hayward is getting up in age. Arizona don't really have a nose tackle. He could go there. Dallas needs help in the middle because those guys stay banged up all year. So I mean, there's plenty of teams that can use a nose tackle like that.
Yeah,
but
you know who's a wild card team that I could see picking him would be Pittsburgh. Cam Hayward is there, but he's losing Larry Ogunjobi potentially to free agency. So pairing them two, oh shit. I think Cam Hayward becomes that much more dangerous in that Pittsburgh defense, man.
Yep.
So it's really not out of the realm of possibility. Stephon Mosley got something nice to say here, Smitty. They've been watching y'all shows, fellas. Y'all said this before. ESPN or NFL Network got a hold on this. So congratulations. Shouts out to y'all. Great work.
Hey, man. Sometimes, man, you just use common sense, man. Stephon is just common sense sometimes. And the reason why we come up with these crazy ideas is because we sit and talk amongst each other.
Yeah.
And we put our ideas together and, hey, man, watch this. Think about this. And that Marcus Davenport, man, Alberto talked about that probably about 2 months ago before anybody wrote about it. So the Lamar Jackson thing started out as a text message, but the reason why it came up in my mind way back in September is because they hadn't given him a contract in 2 years and he should have got one a year after his MVP year. Yeah. And who's really backing him in Baltimore now that Ozzie Newsome is gone? They didn't really want him there in the first place, but Ozzie took him anyway.
Right.
So y'all just got to think about these things. They would still rather have Joe Flacco than a young black mobile quarterback who could sling the ball from one end of the field to the other. Just let that sink in.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
And if they can get something for him to go get another quarterback in this draft, and if they trade with the Falcons and they get that number 8 pick, I guarantee you they're going out to Anthony Richardson or Will Levis or somebody. They're going for a quarterback. See, because to be honest, they don't really need a quarterback to carry them. What are they known for? Defense. So,
yeah,
which is evident with that Roquan Smith.
Right. They gave him a contract before they gave Lamar Jackson a contract. Just think about that.
It's crazy, man.
That was blatant disrespect in itself.
Oh, hell yeah, that's a slap in the face to him, man. Oh, you don't want to do this? Here, Roquan, come on down. We got something for you. Bang.
Come
5 years,
on
100
now.
million.
Yeah, so
crazy,
they just really just, you know, letting the water boil to the top before it go over. So, because they know somebody's going to offer crazy compensation to get Lamar Jackson. So, in the Falcons' prime position, cap space, that's why it keeps coming up. And I'm not the only person talking about Lamar Jackson. I see it all the time in my comments. So, for y'all that's saying that I was the only one wanted Lamar Jackson, y'all haven't been following me long enough. Uncle Steve said it. Alberto said it. Followers in my comments under my videos keep saying they want Lamar Jackson. It just makes sense. Yeah, they gave him $100 million for 5 years.
$100 million, yep.
Yeah, it made him the highest paid linebacker.
Middle linebacker, right. So, I mean, that was just blatant disrespect, and it's only going to get worse.
Yep.
So, guess what? Lamar going to be the odd man now. They're just waiting on the right trade to come through. That's all they waiting on.
Yep. And this is what Atlanta might want to try and recreate by getting Lamar Jackson.
And they ain't even got to recreate that. They ain't got to recreate that. It's about winning football games, giving the team a different energy. The coaching staff done already gave the team energy more than you've seen in the past. Then you put a elite quarterback, playmaking quarterback back there with probably an elite running back, an elite tight end, and a second-year number one wide receiver. You're gonna put up points. So, and like I said, there's no knock on Ritter, but if my job was in jeopardy and I had to put together a winning product on the field, I couldn't trust no second-year quarterback unless he's a Peyton Manning, unless he's an Aaron Rodgers, and I know what I have in him. If not, I'm going to go get me a Lamar Jackson. I'm going to go get a Derek Carr to lead this team. It's just that simple. It's about winning football games. My job on the line, I got to do what's best for me. Think about
that makes a lot of sense because
I mean,
you know, a third rounder was only allocated to Desmond Ritter, so there's wiggle room around that. You know, if to bring in a veteran guy if you see fit.
Right. But
oh man,
y'all got any more questions before we get out of here? Because we've been on for a minute.
I'm good, man. I'm good, bro.
Damon, you got another question before we get out of here?
Someone in the chat said, would y'all let McGarry walk and trade back from 8 to maybe 15 and take Broderick Jones to replace him way cheaper? I
definitely do that, but I seen a couple of offensive linemen that could go in the second and third round and come in and take that spot for McGarry. Help out right away.
Yep.
So to get Broderick Jones, I would do it, but I wouldn't have to trade back to 15. If you wanted Broderick Jones, he's a top 10 talent. You could take him at 8.
Possibly.
And the kid from Tennessee, who I think is going to be a second round, he's going to be a second round pick. He could come in. I talked about DeJuan Jones, who's a second round pick out of Ohio State, 6'8", 375.
Yep.
He might get some first round consideration after the combine.
Yeah,
he will.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, hand is so big he can palm a Buick Park Avenue. That's how big his hands is.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, I mean, I keep saying, man, it doesn't always go by first round picks. It goes by something that you can't measure, and that's hard. Tyler Algier, I put him in 5 of my 10 mock drafts last year. And we ended up getting him because if you look at his college stats, and the crazy thing about it, he started out as an inside linebacker and started playing running back in his third year at BYU. Last year at BYU, he nearly had 2,000 yards rushing.
Shit.
Let that sink in.
All-purpose
to transfer from a linebacker to a running back and still run for that many yards. That's why he loves contacts, because he's used to hitting people. So, I mean, first round picks to me, that's why I told Alberto the other day, man, fuck them picks.
Go get what you need. That's it.
If they can go out and go get Quentin Williams and give up that first round pick, I'd do it.
Why not?
And the reason why, because I'm trying to win right now.
Yep.
You still have second round on. And with those second round picks, you can trade down and keep accumulating picks. And yeah, you could probably get a pick for next year.
Yeah, that's the more popular thing now. Teams are, giving up picks for next year.
Yeah, that's the trend now.
That's a trend.
Or letting guys walk and getting compensatory.
Yeah, compensation. Pick. Yeah. But that even sometimes that's not. I think that's a mistake sometimes letting key guys go and rely on that comp pick because you don't know what they're gonna do with the next ball club that they cling on to, because a lot of it is on what you do statistically when you say McGarry goes, we let him walk, he goes to the Raiders, this guy has an all-pro season. Atlanta's going to hang their hat on potentially getting a third-round pick in compensation. It might not work out like that for McGarry. You know what I mean? So I think that's too risky, man.
And think about it.
Well, would you resign McGarry? Would you resign him starting at like $15 million?
No.
No. Atlanta, and we talked about this earlier. They made a mistake not picking up that 50-year option, man, because it's a whole lot less than what his market value is.
Right. And think about it: $17 million for a guy that didn't produce to his last year, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first 3 years, he didn't produce like he was supposed to. He wasn't bad, but for a first-round pick, you would expect him to play a lot better. When you look at a guy, the kid that was drafted to San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers, came out of Georgia.
Oh,
he came in right away.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about him being a Pro Bowl in his rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we trade up for McGarry too, as well?
Yep. We did. We traded back in with the Rams.
Yeah. Yep. So.
A lot of directions, man. A lot of promise coming up this year, fellas. A lot of promise, man.
End of the day, we have no excuses anymore. We have the right number of draft picks. We have cap space. No more excuses.
Mm-mm.
But with that, man, our brother's gonna go and take us out, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you all, everybody, for tuning in to this episode, man. We appreciate everybody in the comment section that rolled through, all our viewers that are chiming in right now and viewing on our respective platforms. We really appreciate the time for you guys to let us come on and hear us out, address these topics, these rumors, and just having fun with it, man, because that's all it is at the end of the day, just having fun with the topics, man. But I'm going to let Damien go ahead and introduce himself or, say goodbye before we do. So, Damon, let the folks know what's up, man.
Man, it's your boy, Damon Deuce, man. I'd like to thank everybody for having me on today. Smitty, Bert, we on, man. Sunday, man, getting the vibes and everything, man. I hope everybody has a great day. And, we out, man.
Hey, if y'all want to know where to find us, man, please go down in the description of this video. Everybody's link in there. Damon, Alberto, Uncle Steve, Big Low Country, everybody. Go down there, press the links, go straight to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. So every time each one of us put out a video, you will know it. Be the first to know.
Yes, sir.
Because we strive hard to bring this content, man. And whether y'all agree with it or not, man, we still love y'all, and it's all
always
love. And Falcons Nation, man, we gonna keep trying to be one.
It's draft season, baby. We out here.
Yeah, man. Draft season, man. It's the best time of the season, man.
It is.
But
fun time.
Like I said, man, I ain't gonna take it from Alberto. He's been a great host. I'm trying to get him on the right track to want to host. Because your boy getting old and
oh man, I just recently went over the 500 subscription mark, so thank you to everybody that has tuned in and subscribed to my channel. I truly appreciate it. So definitely more content to come and stuff, man. So definitely, man, we're trying to get to 1,000. We're getting there quick. It just takes time, I guess. I don't know, but
you gonna get there,
man.
And if y'all in that comment section, man, he got 500 subscribers, over 500. Share this video so he can get 500 more. But he gonna get there. You gonna get that.
Love it.
Stefan said y'all forgot to bring up the sponsor.
Oh no, we definitely we thought, man, without a shadow of a doubt, we always trying to get that sponsor.
Today's episode brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh man,
pumpkin pie.
No man, no doubt. But This is your boy Alberto, your host of 95 North Falcons Talk Show. You know, we've joined forces, Smitty and I, as you all know, man. Y'all been seeing me for God knows how long with Smitty, rocking and bringing you this great content, man. So the 95 North Sports Machine, we're tuning out. We'll catch you on the flip side. Smitty.
Dunkin' Donuts, peace.
Yeah, you're great.